Julia Hudson has been under investigation since September for operating an unlicensed dog breeding facility. But when deputies went to check on her yesterday, they say they found a shocking scene. On September 13th, the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office was called to Julia Hudson's property after deputies say a dog bit a delivery driver. They say Hudson was unable to prove the dog was vaccinated, and they say they discovered something else.
While deputies were on the scene, they cited her for that violation. They also discovered that Hudson was operating an unlicensed dog breeding facility where there were more than 20 dogs on the scene, and many of the dogs were living in unsanitary conditions.
This isn't the first time Hudson has been accused of animal cruelty. Similar charges were filed in 2013. She was put on probation and banned from owning dogs for 2 years.
A lot of the dogs, there was multiple dogs in each crate. A lot of them had feces and urine staining on their coats and some matting as well. And so we removed all 28 dogs from the property.
Initial vet checkups show the dogs to be in relatively good health, but the Humane Society says it will know more once the coats have been dematted. The dogs currently take up 30% of the Humane Society's intake facility, but they won't be up for adoption anytime soon.
All the dogs are being held for the court proceedings, and at this time they won't be available for adoption. We'll have to see how the court proceedings progress, and hopefully we will be able to take custody and ownership of the dogs and get them all spayed and neutered and up for adoption. But at this point, it's a waiting game.
And we did try to reach out to Ms. Hudson for comment, but we were unsuccessful. LSO is still investigating on the grounds of animal abuse, neglect, and operating an unlicensed breeding facility. Students of Acton Academy Lincoln got the chance to be entrepreneurs today, getting to experience selling their own products to real customers. The Children's Business Fair brought 75 young entrepreneurs and 50 business booths to Acton Academy Saturday. The youngest business owner was 5 years old and the oldest 17.
Children are capable of far more than we give them credit for, and today is case number 101 of that. They are so much more capable than we believe them to be. When we just step back and let them run these businesses, it's awesome to watch them just take over.
The kids sold everything from slime, jewelry, and keychains to lemonade, popcorn, and cupcakes. 7-year-old Hattie has been selling her product, Play Clay, for 2 years with high sales, but she knows what kind of competition she's up against.
Probably the first business fair from here, I've probably been close to sold out, but I'm competing against different businesses like Play-Doh and that kind of stuff, so it's harder.
Co-founder Zach Carson says practicing business management is a great skill to learn at a young age because it provides kids with an opportunity to learn life skills like interacting with each other and brushing up on some math.
It's awesome to see all of these youth out here and see the community coming along to support them. Once again, I mean, these are real products for real money. So it's not just coming out and walking through a science fair, right? These are real customers coming out and spending their real money on these businesses and getting to reward these youth for all of their hard work.
And there was a competition as well. Judges picked the booth they felt had the best business model, and the winner was Essential Benefits, which was selling fresh organic goods. If you take a look behind me, you may not even be able to see it right now, but there is a tiny trickle of water coming in from the creek nearby the nursery. If that trickle stops and they have to drain the pond that's behind me, then they will be completely out of water until the next rain comes. Spirits are really high right now at the first stop of the 50-mile march. They've made it just outside of Lincoln, but they are still a fifth of the way there. So we will see how they're feeling at the end in Omaha. Reporting in Lincoln, Rebecca Heckel, Channel 8 News. The National Women's March organization is calling for a fall of reckoning after Roe v. Wade was overturned earlier this year. So today, the Capitol steps in Lincoln were filled with women calling for more reproductive rights. And in case you missed the poultry show today, no worries. While the winners were picked today, the coops will still be up tomorrow if you want to see the state's best birds. Back to you, Jatine. After President Biden announced a massive loan forgiveness program in late August, there's been lots of confusion about how it works. But despite the confusion, many students seem to be happy with it. All right, welcome back. Let's hear from Turner Wistruck for entertainment. Turner, tell me we got some indoor activities because it is chilly out there. And speaking of Florida, Nebraska Nightly reported several weeks ago that Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse was rumored to be the next president of the University of Florida. It's now official. The Florida Board of Governors approved Sasse as the new president of Gator Nation earlier this month. Sasse announced his resignation from the United States Senate via Twitter, saying he will finish the current Senate session and resign in January. Sasse's replacement will be appointed by Nebraska's Governor-elect Jim Pillen once he officially takes office in 2023. Nebraskans also had the chance to vote for 3 ballot initiatives, and all 3 passed with flying colors. The first initiative will increase Nebraska's minimum wage incrementally to $15 an hour by 2026. That increase will start as soon as January 1st of next year, raising the current wage from $9 to $10.50 an hour. The second initiative requires all voters to have a valid form of government-issued photo ID to cast a ballot. While there's been confusion as to what a valid ID means, it will be up to the state legislature to interpret the language before it takes effect. And the third initiative passed seeks to increase access to commercial flights for small and medium-sized airports in the state. Written as a constitutional amendment, local governments will now be able to use revenue to expand regularly scheduled passenger air service.